What's going on, it's Widget here, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings. This series, of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United, and we have a little talk about it, and we have all reconvened this afternoon to go through every story we've seen this morning, this afternoon, and there is a decent chunk for us to get our Nashers dag into. So, as always, if you do enjoy these videos, if you do want to stay up to date with everything going on the channel and Leeds United's transfer activity, make sure you subscribe and tick that notification bell so you don't miss out on any other content. But let's get straight into the first story, which is Leeds United looking at a couple more departures. Who would those departures be? Well, the main one being Joe Gelhardt and, of course, also Charlie Cresswell. That is right. Leeds are looking to free up spaces on their wage bill. FFP regulations have been hitting clubs left, right and centre over the past couple of months, Everton being the key one, but a lot of other clubs, Forest, who we're looking at for Neco Williams, Leeds even, we need to clear up some room on the wage bill to allow us to spend more money, because we're not making a lot of money in the Championship. And Charlie Cresswell and Joe Gelhardt are two players that we do need to let go. Obviously, we have already let go of Luke Ayling. We have already let go of Djed Spence, but these two wouldn't be a big miss for Leeds United in the way the other two were. I think it would be a great thing to get rid of them, either on loan, either permanently, and get some money in so we can actually spend and reinvest into the squad. Because listen, we all sat here at the beginning of the transfer window saying we need to make some moves, we need to bring some players in, we need to sign some players, we have deficiencies in the squad. Guess what? We've signed 0 players, and we've in fact released 2 players who were a lot closer to the first team than either of these two are. So I don't see any problem in this at all, but it does go on to say that Daniel Farke is seriously considering letting them go, and it would be a good move in terms of freeing up transfer wages for Leeds United going forward. Now, who might we replace them with in terms of defensive options? Well, the first one is one that we spoke about yesterday quite heavily, and it is Ben Godfrey. Apparently also an AC Milan target, but is apparently instead tipped to join Leeds United or Sheffield United. Leeds United have been tipped to go head-to-head with Sheffield United in the race for Ben Godfrey, a report by the Daily Telegraph reporter Luke Edwards. Godfrey has only played 3 competitive games for Everton this season across all competitions. Last time around, he made just 13 Premier League outings. He hasn't had a lot of joy over at Everton. And I came out yesterday and I said, I don't understand it. I don't understand why we would bring another centre-back in. I believe we need fullbacks. I believe we need a potential backup striker. I believe we need a potential another winger. A lot of people think we may need another number 8, maybe a number 10. I don't think centre-half is really the position in which we need, because we've got Ampadu, we've got Strike, we've got Rodon, and if needs be, we've also got Cooper. So I don't think it's really a potential position that we need strengthened. I did get a few people hitting back on that, saying, listen, the guy's electric, he's very quick, he's rapid, he can play left back as well. Whilst I take all those points into account, again, it is not the first name on my wish list. I think we need a natural right-sided defender, a natural right-back that we can play there instead of Archie Gray. A lot of people have been giving Archie Gray a lot of plaudits this season, but without a natural right-back for me, I think Leeds' chances of promotion are just hindered that little bit more. But anyway, the next story goes into another defender, this time one in a more suitable position at fullback, and it is Ben Johnson. We've spoken so much about Ben Johnson, but apparently the talks of Leeds United moving in for him have only got stronger. West Ham United defender Ben Johnson has emerged as a target for Leeds United this month, with the fullback's contract due to expire in June, and now both Leeds and Millwall have open talks. Johnson, 23, could be available this month after managing just 10 outings in all competitions, only 3 in the Premier League. Yada. You know, we've read all of this before, and it is basically just another story ticking along Leeds United's interest. But if we don't make a move quickly, if we don't start to make a move soon, then we're going to find ourselves in serious trouble of not making this happen. And for me, this screams so much like a deadline day transfer for me, and unfortunately it's screaming like a deadline day transfer that we're going to miss out on. We're going to be toying with this. He's not our first option, so we're kind of going 50-50 in for it, and then we're going to wait until deadline day. We're not going to go all guns blazing until the last second, and it's probably going to be too late, and he's going to want to stay at West Ham. Either that, or we're not going to wake up until Millwall get into really, deep negotiations with him, and then we're going to try and snap it off them. We're going to do something stupid like that, I think, when it comes to Ben Johnson, unfortunately. But speaking of a fullback that I think we would go all guns blazing for if we could, it is Neco Williams, and there is a story circling here about Leeds United having a last gasp chance to get him, and that is because of the story we spoke about yesterday, where Feyenoord came in with a loan offer for Neco Williams, and the club shut it down. Now, the angle they're choosing to look at this is, listen, Feyenoord were, very interested in him. It was an interesting proposition for him, but that move has been shut down now, therefore opening the doors for Leeds United to go in there with a more tempting proposal to steal him away from them. However, the other side that I'm looking at this as is, listen, they didn't want to send him to Feyenoord. I guarantee you they probably don't want to sell him to Leeds. They really want him playing in the squad. Now that Nuno Espirito Santo has come in, he's been given 2 starts out of their last 6 games. 4 games that he didn't start, he came off the bench to help secure the wins in. So I don't really see how this move can happen. I know I was really excited about it at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the window, But right now, unfortunately, as time goes on, it does seem quite unlikely that we will get our hands on Neco Williams. Hopefully, I'm wrong about that. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you guys think I'm wrong on that? Do you think there is a chance of us getting him? Please, please, please let me know what you guys think. And hopefully, this develops very promisingly over the next 48 to 72 hours. Now, speaking of someone who's developed promisingly this season, Daniel Farke has decided to change his mind and really started to get on the Firpo bandwagon. That's right, a lot of Leeds fans, even the Leeds manager, is starting to see what we've been seeing over here. Okay, listen, I'm talking me, I'm talking you. We've been seeing this senior Firpo ascent over the past few months, over the past few years even. Everyone's looking at junior Firpo, we're looking at senior Firpo, and finally, people are starting to get on board, but apparently it isn't just Daniel Farke who is starting to fall in love with him, but other clubs as well, because junior Firpo, or should I say senior Firpo's rise in popularity and rise in form over the past few months has certainly attracted interest from other clubs, one of which being Real Sociedad, who are very interested in making a move for him. Firpo has had to be patient this season, what is his 3rd season at Leeds, after being criticised heavily in his first 2 by people who didn't know what was going on, if you know what I mean. The La Liga side, who sit 6th place in Spain's top tier, have qualified for the knockout places in the Champions League, have just lost Almain Munoz, one of the 2 options at the left side of the defence. And they are looking at Firpo to replace him. This is being reported by Mundo Deportivo, and they are really looking at Firpo. Hopefully we don't let him go. I don't think we will let him go. I don't think Firpo will necessarily want to go now. I know he could go back to Spain. He could start playing Champions League football. That could be an interesting proposition for him. But he's finally getting game time at Leeds. It's starting to work for him, and he could be part of a big promotion charge. So I don't see him wanting to go. I think he wants to keep his form now. He wants to get consistent game time, and I don't think the club should let him go at all, because we to definitely not need to lose another fullback. But finally, speaking of fullbacks and what would have been a potential replacement, and another reason why Firpo can't leave, is this man, Ryan Giles. We spoke about it the other day. Leeds were looking very heavily into getting him. It was a move that excited me, excited you. I thought it was a good move. I thought, you know what? If we end the season, if we end the transfer window, we get Ryan Giles and we get Neco Williams, that would be a great transfer window. But apparently Hull City are pipping Leeds in the negotiations to make Ryan Giles, and it really screams of what I spoke about with the Ben Johnson move, where we're going to wait till Millwall pip us and they get really close to signing him before we actually pull our finger out and do something about it. Well, it seems like the same thing is happening with Giles here, because apparently Hull City are now in pole position to sign him. And unfortunately, it seems like a move that could happen. Hull City have already wrapped up the signings of Ivor Pandor, Fabio Carvalho and Billy Sharp so far this month. The Tigers sit 7th in the table and are aiming to bolster their playoff credentials with new arrivals. I like the way they're moving. I like the way they're doing it. Fabio Carvalho is also someone who Leeds are interested in. But why are we getting outdone by Hull City? How are we getting mugged off by Hull City? I'm sorry, but they've signed 3 players. Leeds have signed Jack Diddley Squat. We've let 2 players go. We got to really wake up and smell the coffee here. and actually start throwing our weight around in the transfer market, because we're Leeds. We should be able to bully these other sides. We shouldn't be able to get bullied by Hull and have them take our targets. But anyway, our final story, who once again Leeds are going to have to bully and battle off some other sides, is surrounding this man right here. And it is David Brooks from Bournemouth, another winger from Bournemouth who Leeds United could be going for. And we're going to have to battle out interest from Southampton, and this is coming from a report by The Athletic. Brooks has 1 goal and 1 assist in 13 Premier League outings so far this season. The Welsh international has been linked with both Daniel Farke and Russell Martin's side on loan, and now an update has emerged on Bournemouth's stance. The Cherries will reportedly only allow Brooks to depart this month if they can bring in another wide man for cover. Who could that wide man be? Maybe it could be a returning Jaden Anthony, perhaps. Maybe we send Jaden Anthony back. Maybe we bring Brooks the other way. Could be a potential thing. I don't think he's much better than Jaden Anthony at all, to be honest with you. I don't think it's an amazing move for Leeds. I don't think it's a move we really need, especially with the news that we might keep Wilfried Gnonto. So for me, I don't see this move making any sense. But let me know what you guys think anyway down in the comment section down below. What do you make of all the stories so far today? We will be reconvening shortly to go through everything else happening in and around the world of Leeds United, as we said. But let me know what you guys think anyway down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.